here to talk today about something that isn't really talked about that should be, and that's our balls or our nuts or whatever word you want to use for them. During November, Amy are focusing on men's health, and in particular cancers that are common in males, and one of those is testicular cancer. 2,400 men a year are diagnosed with it, that's about 6 a day. But 90% of testicular cancer is curable if it's detected early. It's most common in men aged between 15 and 45. I think it's something that never gets talked about. I don't think I've ever had a conversation about it. This is the first to me. I don't know about you guys.
I probably think it'd probably be someone else who gets it other than me. I guess I probably think I won't make those statistics, and that's just because I probably don't know many people who suffered from it.
I actually went to have myself checked about 20 years ago because I found something. So when you sent me this, it was like, well, I can talk about that. I've got first-hand experience. So you find something, you go to the doctors. It was a lady doctor, and she had a look, and luckily it was fatty tissue. End of story. But it does make you think.
Strange one, isn't it? No one ever talks about it, even though it happens. Like, women openly talk about checking each other's breasts, but men don't talk about checking their balls. We talk about everything else in the pub.
I don't know about you guys, that's up there with my most important body parts, or my favourite body parts. So, you know what I mean?
So you brush your teeth every day. Do you check your knackers every day?
Yeah.
It's, you know, is it with men we go get ourselves serviced because, like, I'm not ill, don't go to the doctors.
Yeah. Were you actually checking yourself regularly? And to the other guys, like, do you check yourself, and would you know what to look for?
We've all caught ourselves and that's a bit painful and what have you. Well, whether I'd got a bit of a pain down there and decided to have it checked, but whether I blocked that out, which is really, really strange, because I remember it vividly going to the doctors because I had to see a lady doctor under short notice. So that was a little bit awkward, you know.
Yeah. Does anyone else check themselves regularly? I mean, I do now. You do, Andrew, yeah?
It's on my radar when I'm in the shower. I have a bit of a feel and a grope around. I even read guides you can get like on WikiHow and all sorts of like diagrams that they've drawn for you. Some of them are hilarious. But for me, I did it when I was like in my late teens, early 20s. I did find a lump down there, and thankfully mine was just similar to Brian, like a little fatty lump.
Before we talk about checking ourselves, how many of us have regular checkups at the doctors? Probably not many of us. Do I check myself regularly? No. I probably need to get myself in order.
If you look at the way the NHS approach women, like going for smear tests, mammograms at certain ages, there's a huge push with that from the NHS, but it's only in recent years that I've seen that they've started doing it for men getting their MOT done as well, and I think it's just as crucial.
If we think of it as an MOT, then you go in there and say, well, I haven't had a chat to you about my prostate. You know, I'm 53. I'm in prostate country now.
Yeah.
And over the last month or so, wife and I have been talking that I'm going to make an appointment just to have that discussion.
There's a very old-fashioned culture, I think, obviously with the male type of side of things, that if there isn't a problem, you don't create one, you don't go and talk about it. And, you know, the same in my household, I was brought up, even if my old man was ill, he never had time off work, he never spoke about it. And it was only recently, you know, when he had that cardiac, that something actually physically stopped him, otherwise he'd have just cracked on. And you won't, you know, we're seen as the ones that we don't create problems unless there is one, we fix them type of thing. And it's this old-fashioned mindset. I'll be honest, I never ever check. I never have done, you know, never been shown. But again, you know, I've probably been the last one to be school out of everyone on this call. But it's not even spoke about in high school, you know, teen lads.
Do you think it is just because of how people have been brought up and it's just never been chatted about, and that is why we still don't do it today? It's just that whole stigma around it.
Change starts with the one, and then you can pass it on to other people. And I think for me personally, like if I've got to go and speak to the doctor, or if I've got to enter into an embarrassing or uncomfortable conversation, I do things like writing it down. So I know I can hit all the points where I'm a bit flustered during that conversation. I know I've got them there and it keeps me on track to talk about it.
Yeah.
I also kind of like set the scene to sort of break the ice and say, look, it's a bit uncomfortable, don't really know how to word it, so I'm just going to say it. And then they kind of like guide you through what they want to know from that situation then, and that's helped me massively.
Doesn't matter what we go to the doctors for. We're embarrassed to go anyway, for wherever it is. What you got? I've got this rash. I've got this. And you don't go, and then you sit there all going red because you don't want to admit that you've got something wrong with you. And I think it's the hard part for us males is admitting that there's something wrong with us, or we're scared to know that there's something wrong with us.
We need to be brave.
Yeah.
We need to be able to talk about it. We need to be comfortable and confident.
Yeah.
It starts with us. It must start with us. But we must be able to get information, guidance to raise awareness.
I had a fair few women email and they made comments saying, well, why are we not doing Women's Health Month? I said, well, because men's health is just as much kind of your responsibility as it is the male responsibility as well, because you've all got men in your life. You've all got brothers, your dads, sons, etc. It's about having that conversation with not just us between men, which is hugely important. It's about having that conversation with everyone and making it comfortable with everyone.
The focus on the mindset of men of hiding things and purposely not checking because don't really want to find a problem. Back to Luke's comments, don't want to find a problem, just want to fix a problem.
Yeah, I think it's making people aware in general. It's aware what you need to look for, how you need to look for it, and give them the statistics which might, either scare them into actually getting it checked out, or putting their mind at rest that actually, if I do get it checked and it's early enough, then the survival rates are massively high anyway. So, but yeah, it's all about awareness.
Check yourself. Give yourself an MOT. Check yourself over. If something's not right, give them somewhere where they can go.
Yeah.
It's give them the information. It's plant the seed, give them the information, then they should be able to have the confidence to either speak to someone about it or go to see a doctor.
Yeah, go see a doctor. Use our EAP. Anything like that. Use our Wellbeing pages. I want to thank them all for taking your time out to chat about this, because I think these chats are the start, definitely, in helping raise this awareness, and the more awareness that's raised, the more knowledge people have, the more people are comfortable with it, the more chance they are of going to the doctors, the more chance they've got of catching anything early. So, thanks for your time.